Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Lab with Alakesh Thakuria. In this video, we will do hands-on lab for role-based access control using Azure Portal. As you can see, I am in my Azure Portal and signed in. First, let me provide you short explanation about role-based access control, commonly known as RBAC. RBAC in Azure is a system that helps managers who has access to what resources in our Azure environment. Okay. And what is the purpose of RBAC? To control access to Azure resources based on roles. Okay. And how it works? We used to assign a role to a user, group, or service principal at a specific scope. Okay, scope means like management group, subscription, resource group, or resource. Now, two things we need to understand before this hands-on lab. One is scope, means where we want to apply. We want to apply it on management group, we want to apply it on subscription, we want to apply it on resource group or resource. Okay. And another one is role. Roles means role used to define the permissions like read, write, or delete. And there are two types of roles in Azure. One is built-in roles, which are defined by Azure itself, and some of the most common built-in roles are like owner, contributor, and reader. Owner has the full access. Okay, owner can assign roles to other user. Owners can manage the resources. So owner has the full access. Contributor can manage the resources but cannot assign roles to other user. Whereas reader can only view the resources or resource group but cannot make any changes. Okay. And another type of roles is custom role, which means user used to define the roles. Okay, means user can change it or define it according to the user needs. Okay. Now, in this video, I'm going to pick two users from my users list, and I will assign the reader role to the first user, which is a built-in role in Azure, and apply it at the resource group level. Okay. And for the second user, I will use the same resource group scope but give them the contributor role. And in the end, I will show you the difference in what each user can do based on their roles. However, this video is based on Azure built-in roles, okay, not custom roles. So we have decided our scope, which is resource group, right? So this is the resource group, as you can see. So we have to go to a resource group. And then I have one resource group. I have created one resource group, which is Lab RG. So what I will do, I will go to my resource group. As you can see, I'm inside my resource group, and the name of the resource group is Lab RG, right? So to provide a role, I have to go to access control, IAM. Identity and access management. Okay. Now, to assign a role, I have to click on add. As you can see, there are two options: add role assignment and add custom role. To assign an Azure built-in role, we have to select this add role assignment. And if we want to create a role, or if you want to add a role, a custom role, then we have to click on add custom role. However, our motto is to add built-in roles, right, for this video. So I will click on add role assignment. Now I want to provide reader role, right? So for the first user, I have already told you, for the first user, I will provide them reader role. Okay. And then click next. Then I have to select a member. I will click on select. let's say I want to provide Barbara Smith as a reader role. Okay, Barbara Smith. So from my user list, I have selected Barbara Smith. Then I will click on select. Then I will click on review plus assign. And then review plus assign. It says adding role assignment. Okay. So Barbara Smith was added as reader for Lab RG. Okay. For the resource group. Now, I will add another role assignment, the built-in roles, add role assignment, and then this time I will select contributor, right? Click on next and then select members. Now I will select Carol Stans. Okay, I will select Carol Stans as the user. Then click on select. Then I will click on review plus assign. Again, review plus assign. It says add role assignment. Okay, Carol Stans was added as a contributor role for Lab RG. Great. Now, so far we have provided Barbara Smith as reader role to our resource group scope, and we have provided Carol Stans as contributor role for resource group scope, right? So you can, if you will go to this role assignment, we are under the Lab RG access control and then role assignment. You can see Carol Stans and Barbara Smith, right? So Carol Smith is a contributor and Barbara Smith is a reader for this resource. As you can see, this resource, right? Let's close this. Now, let me sign up with Barbara Smith, okay, as a Barbara Smith in the Azure portal. First, I have to go to new incognito window and then I will type over here and then I will sign in as a Barbara Smith. Okay, the user principal name is Smith at kidscartoonworld.com. Now let me go to the resource group and check. So I'm not able to see the resource group over here. So what I will do, I will search for the resource group. This is the resource group, and as you can see, I have logged in as a Barbara Smith, B Smith. Okay, then I will go to Lab RG. So as you can see, I can see everything whatever it is under the Lab RG, right? Lab RG is our resource group, and I have assigned Barbara Smith as a reader role for the resource group scope. So for the Lab RG, which is a resource group, Barbara Smith can able to view everything whatever inside the resource group. But can Barbara able to delete this resource group? Let's check. So let's try to delete the resource group. Let's copy this and paste it. It says failed to delete resource group Lab RG. The client B Smith with object ID this does not have authorizations to perform actions. So can you see this? So Barbara don't have any permissions to make any changes in this resource group. Barbara can only view the resources inside this resource group. Okay, let me just try to create anything. Just try to create any resource. Okay, let me try to create a storage account. Okay, let's say storage account. I want to create this. Under these subscriptions, Lab RG, as you can see, under the subscriptions pay as you go, this is my subscriptions, and under the resource group Lab RG. Okay, storage account name, let's give it a storage account name as STG, my account storage. So this is my storage account name, and then primary service standard. I don't need any redundancy at this point of time, so LRS is fine for now. And then I will click review plus create. It says validations failed, view for more error details. As you can see, the same error. Okay, does not have the authorizations because Barbara Smith role is as a reader. Okay, so Barbara Smith cannot make any changes in the resource group. Barbara Smith can only view the resource group. Okay, now let me close this, and then let me close Barbara Smith's account as well. Okay, now let me go to the incognito mode again, and then I will go to the portal, and this time I will logged in with Carol Stan's account. Okay, as you can see, I have already logged into Carol Stan's account. Okay, so I will search for resource group, and Carol Stans is a contributor. Okay, let's go to the Lab RG, which is a resource group, and then let's try to modify a resource. Okay, let's try to create something under the resource group. Let's say Carol wants to create a storage account. Okay, subscription is pay as you go, resource group is Lab RG, and under the Lab RG we will create a resource which is a storage account, and we have to name it as STG demo storage account. Okay, storage account name should be unique, and then standard is fine, general purpose. So Azure blob storage or Azure data lake storage Gen 2. Great. We don't want geo redundant, so LRS is fine, and then review and create. If Carol has a rights to create a resource under this resource group, then this resource which is a storage account will be created. I will click on create. As you can see, storage account get created, and still its deployment is in progress. So see, your deployment is completed, so that means storage accounts got created, right? So as you have seen, for the first user, which is Barbara Smith, Barbara Smith has a reader role and she can only view the resources, right? Resource group. But Carol Stans can make changes in the resource group. So that's the power of role-based access control. Okay. Please stay tuned with this playlist for identity and governance Azure Portal Lab. In the coming videos, we will learn about custom role in role-based access control. Thank you.